Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to another episode of Real Estate Experience. I'm always excited to talk to this guy. I called him early this morning. We was both in the gym, and he's out. He's out working, but he got 15 minutes for me. It's the Real Estate Experience with me, Travon Smith, and the one and only Mr. Flipper, Orange County himself, Keith Hale. How you doing, man?
What's up, my man? How are you? I'm doing well, man. I'm just over here, in my van, man. I went mobile six
Okay.
months ago, man, and it's really changed everything I'm doing, man, because now I don't have to be anywhere. I can work from my van, man, just kind of go wherever I need to go, and I get to spend time.
You can't go wrong with that.
Can't go wrong, man. Places like this all day long, and I
Hey,
can.
matter of fact, I don't know what your week look like this week and next week. I need to meet you at the office out there.
Yeah, man. I could pull up on you too, man. That's a good thing is I
Yeah.
pull up on
No,
you.
I'm trying to, I'm gonna be honest, I'm trying to pull up right there
Yeah, man.
and get that view in with you. But man, hey, we got the ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know, it's Mr. Orange County himself, brother that takes care of the community. He's out there, doing flips and he had the education. If you missed his last show, we talked about flips 101. Go back and check it out. Something we'll always promote. How you doing out there and how's everything going for you as of right now?
That's a big question, man. Things have definitely changed in the marketplace. And I think some people always ask me, is this a good time or a bad time? And I said, look, it's always a good time. It's just a matter of you have to know what you're doing in this type of market. You know what I mean? So but things have definitely slowed down, right? We saw interest rates raise, in
Yeah.
the last few months dramatically, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't like a little shift. It was like a bam, you know what I mean? And I told everyone during COVID, they're giving away all this free money for the first time. In 2008, they didn't do that, right?
Yeah.
So this time they gave away a bunch of free money, kept the market like this, kept people renting and
Mhm.
buying homes, and they lowered interest rates down to 2%. So when that happens, we all know that the next thing's coming is they're going to raise it, right, to get their money back. So, for me now, it's just, thinking through that, looking at the strategies and reorganizing things that were going to be faster flips, faster builds, and kind of prolonging those now. So the build that was going to take 10 months, I'm going to make it take 14 months, right? So that way, I can kind of time the market when I think it will come back. We just saw interest rates rise another 50 basis points last week, and that's because it's Christmas time and they know nothing's going to happen. You're desperate. If you're buying a home right now in
Yeah.
this market with this rate environment, you have to move, right? So
Yeah.
they're going to get their money out to people that have to move. So
I
if you
like
don't
that.
have to move, those articles are saying that a lot of homes are in delinquency already. A lot more are coming. So what does that mean for us? That means we're going to see some drop in home prices across the nation. So I would hold off.
Yeah, definitely, and that's something I extremely enjoy about people like you coming on the show. We don't want to sell no bull crap, no water to Eskimos. If it's not a good time, it's not a good time right now. We want people to
Right.
respect us for that right now. And I love the information you just shared. If you're moving right now, it's because you have to, and you ain't got no choice. But I want
Yeah.
to piggyback off of something you said. You said the market right now is in a situation where you have to know what you're doing. What are
Yeah.
some things that you have to know and have to be experienced with in this kind of market for somebody coming in? Because I see real estate agents all over the place. Oh, it's the perfect time to buy. It's the perfect time to buy. And
Yeah.
I'm thinking in my head, it's not the perfect time to buy. I'm a homeowner. It ain't the
Yeah.
perfect time to buy. And I would never tell my clients that. So what
Right.
is some things that you would tell, that, we just said that you have to know about this market and the experience
Right.
that you have to have?
Well, God bless all of our beautiful real estate agents out there, right? Because they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, right? Which is
Yeah.
selling us homes, right? But like the number one agent in the country told me, he said, if they like it, I love it. So you gotta be very careful with what you're being told. Having said that, I think new flippers, the biggest mistake they make, well, two of them are. Number one is timing. They think they can do it for in this amount of time. And the number two thing is the budget, right? And now the number third mistake that they haven't made yet, and they don't even know they're going to make, is pricing. So right now, people believe that the pricing of real estate is, let's say it's $1 million, right? Well, that might have been 3 months ago, and since we've had this dramatic shift, I mean, we've had this is a dramatic shift. It's not a small shift, right? So we have to be very, very careful on the pricing and what we think this home is actually worth and what we'll trade for in today's market on the open market, right?
Mm.
So I think that the mistake that we're going to see, and I've already seen it. I've already got called by a couple, early flippers asking me to buy the properties because what they thought was the price isn't really the price.
Yeah.
And over the last 2 years, I hate to say it, anybody could have been a flipper
Yeah.
because putting a property on the market, you would have had multiple offers at a price that maybe wasn't the actual price. So what are we seeing now? Are we seeing home prices drop? I read an article 2 weeks ago that said Orange County is seeing a 20% dip in market. I don't believe that.
Yeah.
Okay. I believe that what we're seeing is we're seeing a correction in the market, which is much different than a percentage drop. So I think what we have to be careful of now is that property really worth $1 million, right? Or 800,000 or 5 million. It doesn't matter the market. I play in the very high end market, and I've got homes that are $10 million, and I got homes that are $1,850,000. So you just have to be very, very cautious and underwrite these deals a lot differently. So what I'm doing personally is I'm initially taking a 20% hit on every property. So you bring me a property and you say, Keith, buy it for 2 million. I'm discounting that property by 20% day one, right?
Yeah.
And then from there, I'm going to underwrite it at the 20% discount. And then I'm going to look where I forecast 6 to 7 months out. And I'm going to forecast the rental. And if I have to hold this property for over 12 months, because, I hate to say it, but until we get a Trump-like person back in office, we're going to have this problem
Yeah.
because as of right now, we're going to continue to see rate hikes maybe for the next year, maybe until after we see another election. So, we have to be ready to hold properties.
Okay. You look, I got caught staring. I was like, you caught me off guard with the rates gonna go up all over. I mean, the possibility of rates
Yeah,
going up, throughout the next year.
yeah,
And that's something we have to be prepared for, correct? You
absolutely.
you have to be able to, like you said, you're sitting back, strategizing, and taking your 10-month plan, the 14-month plan, and things like that. And that's something that people need to know. That's great information.
Yeah,
Um,
man.
so what does 2023 look like for Keith Hale and Incorporated?
Right now I am actually looking at, making my plan. I'm going to take probably some time off, a couple of days. This is the first time actually I'm working in December, man.
Okay.
Mostly December I'm not working, but because of the change and correction in the market, I'm having to look at things a little differently and re-strategize a little bit. I think it's a good thing. Honestly, this is where in 2008, everyone saw, as I told you last time, we saw something horrific in the marketplace. I made a lot of money during that time,
Okay.
right? And I think this is no different. I think that we're going to see maybe 300,000 homes going to default next year.
Mm.
Opportunity is here right now, so I
Okay.
think it's time to, as they say, walk down very slowly and be patient with what we see. Just because there's a good deal today doesn't mean you have to buy it. So I think for 2023, what I'm going to do is I'm going to be very, very patient and looking at deals a lot differently and waiting for, the deals I know I can make, the multiple that I'm trying to make in my deals, the way I underwrite them. So, I think the key for me is right now is to look at my portfolio of all the properties that I'm holding, all the properties that are for sale, because I got properties that are selling too right now.
Yeah.
I got properties in Corona del Mar. I got properties in Laguna Beach. I got properties on the water that aren't selling, right?
Uh-huh.
And and it's not like they're not getting looks. It's just we have a correction. Everyone's wondering, what's going to happen? Is the bottom going to fall out like the news says? And it's not going to. I can promise you that's not going to. Now, if you're in Fresno or you in Wisconsin, I can't promise you the bottom's not going to fall out there. But if you're on coastal, California, or you're in Los Angeles, or you're in San Francisco, or you're a major MSA, I would say not, because the need to move is still great in these areas, right? We have
Mm.
overpopulated areas where housing is an issue. So 2023, we're going to be, I'm going to be very, very patient. I'm talking to my team. We're going to be patient. We're going to underwrite deals differently. We're going to look at multifamily deals a lot heavier. We're going to look at deals that bring income back to us. Like I said, prepared for us to hold properties and things like that. But yeah, I'm excited. This is a awesome time to be a real estate investor. People are running off and scared and getting jobs, and the guy at the Porsche dealer tells me that he hasn't sold a car in 5 months and he's freaking out and everyone's going crazy. What I would say is calm down, calm down. We've been through this way worse than this is before. When I started in this business, the interest rates were 12%. Appreciation was much different.
Okay.
We have an awesome opportunity right now for those of us that have, longer term capital and understand how to look at deals and understand what to do. And if you don't, that's why you and me do this, right? Because
Yes, sir.
we're going to start an education platform to help people, because it's last 2 years was easy.
Yeah.
It's no longer easy. So you have to get educated. If you're a flipper and it's your first deal, don't do it. Just wait. Talk to someone like me. Get some education before you just jump in the marketplace.
And that's something I want to make sure we give the information out, because I know we were also talking about I don't want to spend too much time on this because I got one big question for you.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
You putting together maybe a possible summit or something, educating people how to flip, financial freedom, real estate. And that's something I look forward to helping you out any way I can. So that's something you have coming in 2023. We want to definitely make sure we leave your information so people can contact you. Maybe they want to be a sponsor. Maybe they want to be a guest panel or whatever forms you have set up. I want to get to this question that was just kind of like going through my head while you were talking. Some people flip as yourself. Some people, residential homes, commercial, and then some people Airbnb. What makes you flip and not do Airbnbs, or is that something you just haven't thought about yet, or something you're not interested yet because you're comfortable where you're at?
Yeah, that's a good question. I have a property now that I'm considering it for the first time. And Airbnb is great, but again, I just talked to a friend of mine. They're getting, call it 2,000 a month, 2,000 a night. That's now down to 1,300 a night. So what we saw during the pandemic, I remember the first day of the pandemic, I looked in the mirror and said, here we go again, 2008, right?
Yeah.
But then a week and a half later, Orange County got hit with everyone from LA coming down here to rent property. So Airbnb was off the hook, man. I mean, I had friends renting properties for $10,000 a week easily, right? But I'm a margin guy. So I look at margin, and, again, I also look at, the first part of the pandemic where apartment owners and they deferred rents and things like that. Those type of things tend to scare me just a little bit, right? I don't want to have, 20, 30, 40, 50 properties held. And then, Gavin Newsom, who should be on his way out, I'm sorry to say, excuse me.
I got you.
Decides to defer rents again and, hurt investors.
Oh, yeah.
And of course, they're trying to impose a tax on flippers. So we have to really be careful and, watch what's happening, because, this is a problem. But to answer your question, I'm a margin guy. So I look at properties as a margin, and I want to make a specific margin in the deal. If I can make that margin, I'd rather sell it now and move on to the next project. And plus, I'm a builder by trade. I like to build properties.
Got you. I got you. That definitely answers my question. Ladies and gentlemen, man, it's the Real Estate Experience with me, Travon Smith. It's always a pleasure to have people on here that give their education, their background, their stories. That's what we're here for. We got Mr. Keith Hale. Go ahead and give me your information. As always, we'll have it in the description below. But go ahead. We'd like to hear from yourself. Go ahead and tell them where they can find you at, any kind of platforms, anything besides right here on the Real Estate Experience.
Well, of course, I'm on Instagram. I was on Facebook, but I tend to call that fake book, so I'm not on there anymore.
I got you.
Instagram's at Keith Hale, and just Keith Hale. If you give, but Keith Hale Jr., that's my son, so don't do that. Okay, you'll get baseball information. And then Cali Flips is my company. I'm here in Newport Beach, California. Never going anywhere. And it's Cali Flips, CALI Flips.com, and it's Keith at CaliFlips.com. I would give my cell phone number out, but last time I did that, I had to field a lot of phone calls, which I don't mind, but
I got you. Hey, like I believe in this. Make them work for it. Email me, contact me through the website. That means you really want to do something instead of giving me the generic phone call about what you can do for me. Mr. Keith Hale, it's always a pleasure. I appreciate you hanging out with us on this Monday, the week of Christmas. So happy holidays to you and your family, and definitely a happy New Year. We'll talk right after the New Year, man, and check in with you again.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. Now, actually, I'll be at Carlos Strauss speaking on January 12th here in Orange County. You should come on out, man.
Definitely, I'm gonna put that in my calendar.
Yeah,
January
it's a
the
great
12th,
event.
Carlos
January
Strauss.
12th, Carlos Strauss, the one in Santa Ana by the ballpark.
Okay.
And I think that's at 7 o'clock. I'll put something else out about that. But thanks for
Yes.
having me. It's
Yeah.
always a pleasure,
Shoot me
man.
shoot me the flyer and information so we can definitely post that and make sure we try to take care of you as much as possible.
I will for sure. I
All right,
appreciate
man.
it, man. Thank you so much. God bless, man. Merry Christmas.
Hey, have a great day on that beach, man. I love that.
All right, we'll do.